I'm not going to play any more of that crap. Okay. So as you can tell, this is the Pokemon vs. Digimon panel. And I was actually surprised. I've not seen this done before. And I started mentioning this to some of my friends, and they were like, "Oh my God, you're amazing! You're a genius." I'm like, it's the same thing as Star Wars or Star Trek, but same thing. So I actually laughed that it hasn't happened yet. We actually do have a Pokemon guy. James, why are you up here?
We need to speak!
Someone to
see right there, that just
proves.
proves.
Doesn't really have that much to go for. I'm sorry, man.
I can't do Jesse.
We did have a few other Pokemon guys that were supposed to be here, but they ended up not being able to come, and then we just were like, yeah, we're way too lazy to actually try to find other Pokemon people. Yeah, there's enough that'll just show up. So pretty much what I'm going to do here is we'll have lots of fun. As you can tell, I'm showing kind of the little clips of some of the little stupid things that go on. And then I'm going to actually show some other things where I'm going to try to be serious on some things. And I will admit that on my end, I absolutely hate Pokemon. The anime. Because it has not changed yet. And I have a picture to prove this.
Ash just changed his clothes like 3 times.
How old are you?
12.
And how long will you have been 12?
A while. So I found this picture like a year ago, like right after Twilight happened, and it by far was the greatest thing ever because it's the only good thing I've had of Twilight. If you're a Twilight fan, you're gonna have to forgive me because I think that book's full of bull.
Vampires don't sparkle.
Vampires can't have babies.
Exactly.
If they don't bleed, end of story. I'm not gonna go into any more detail. But there's something else, that's another liquid that you need for babies. I know we're kids shows, but on a kids show, I do want to show this one picture.
Completely unrelated.
Yeah, I don't think you get this very much in the Pokemon genre. But you get close to it, you get the main character blown up every episode and somehow survives it. And James.
They don't blow up, they blast away.
Yeah. They've only like once actually been hurt, and then the next episode they were healed again.
That meow.
Yeah, and meow. Yeah, the one bad thing is we brought both of our computers, and he brought all the Pokemon stuff, I brought most of the Digimon stuff, and then we forgot to bring a portable jack to switch them all into one computer. So I'll probably end up going through like half the Digimon stuff, then we'll switch to him and go through Pokemon stuff. And I'm sorry if it goes like, does taking forever to switch them between the two. But it's more for just kind of little joking pictures and a few other things. So you need to stop looking at Power Rangers. And the first thing I want to make a joke of is for who here actually had a Game Boy? Okay, so the people that remember the amazingness of the game link cable. And yeah, that's what you guys get. You know what we get? Wi-Fi. We get to get right next to each other and destroy all our personal bubbles and watch these little itty bitty figures go tink, 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 and a little fireball goes from one screen to the next, back and forth, and you just hope and pray your guy wins because there's no actual health bar. It's just you wait until one guy just dies. And the bad thing is when he dies, you get this little X screen and then it'll have a little poo at the bottom. Because that was the one thing I noticed between like the Pokemon Tamagotchis and the Digimon Tamagotchis was Pokemon are a lot cleaner because Digimon after about every 5 seconds would poo. And, if you let, and because they actually ate. For some reason Pokemon, they eat all the time and we don't know where it goes. Except like, apparently they either poop out mucks, I guess. I don't know. Right? But I wish I found the video. I found a video a long time ago that had a picture of Ash with his mom giving him a Pokemon, and it's an Agumon. And so he's going through all these things going, that's not a Pokemon, that's a Digimon. They're the same thing. And he starts going through all this stuff, and the Digimon's talking to him, and it's a really annoying voice. and he starts pretty much crapping all over the house. He goes, "It's getting really dirty over here, guys. We need to clean this up." And Ash is completely ignoring the thing, won't look at it. And at the end of it, he's like, "You let me wait too long." And then it digivolves into, what was the name of that one Digimon? Numemon. Sukamon. Yeah, Numemon was the little rat thing that was with it. But Sukamon, which is a giant poo Digimon. And that was that was the one thing that everyone who had the original Digimon Tamagotchi dreaded. Because that was possible. If you didn't play with the thing enough, it would digivolve into poo. And it was the biggest thing with like one attack power that would never change. And you're screwed. You have to reset the game, start from scratch. And I did have the little Pikachu Tamagotchi thing, and I feel really bad because I killed mine. I still don't know how it happened, but I lost it.
It's fine. Those things die like 5 days after you first turn them on.
Oh, yeah. So I found it like 3 years later. The battery still worked, which surprised me. But you know how he could become really sad and he would turn away and never look at you if you made him not happy? Yeah, after 3 days of trying to feed it and play with it, and it still ignored me, I threw it away. And I felt so much better, because then I got a Digimon Tamagotchi, and it was a lot better.
I wonder why.
Because mine became Greymon.
Mine became Marimon.
And let's see. For those, I do feel sorry for those that can't read that, if you do. Because sending your kids into a world infested with wild, untamed monsters is the best thing for them to grow up. For those that remember, it's like the end of season 2, I think, and it finally shows all of them grown up. And who here laughed when you find out that Sora, after all this stuff with Kai, ends up marrying Matt?
See, here's the weird thing about both Pokemon and Digimon. They don't cater to shipping at all. Because you have this whole built up with Sora and Tai, and then second season comes in.
Well, Ash hasn't hit puberty yet, so he doesn't care about it. He had maybe 3 times he's ever looked at a woman, and that was season 1 in the...
No, just season 1.
It was season 1 where they were in the little foggy mansion place that was playing the actual Pokemon video game, and they were doing all that, and there was a one time Ash actually ogled a girl.
Wasn't it James in the bikini?
I do feel bad if James is the biggest breasted woman in the entire series. And that was removed and banned from America. But you can still find it on YouTube. I don't have a video of that, I'm sorry, but...
Why'd you get rid of him?
Jesse may have...
Jesse was jealous.
Oh,
Yeah.
He was like, you look too much better than me. Shoot, I have a few other videos. Do I have the new Pokemon video? Yes. And what I'm going to do actually now, because I showed you the openings that you just got, I'm going to actually, who here is actually, I know I have at least one guy here that knows who I'm from, but who here has seen season 6 and 7 of Digimon? Cross Wars and Hunters. Okay, thank God. A few of you will know what this is. And honestly, Cross Wars and Hunters by themselves have made me completely love Digimon all over again, and once again affirm that it's better than Pokemon in just the 2 series. Because in the 70 episodes, they not only defended the world twice, they also beat the ever-loving crap out of like everyone, while making fun of them while they're doing it. And not only that, but the last episode, which I'm going to actually show in a second, which the worst thing about it is YouTube, the only one that's dubbed or subtitled so you can actually read what they're going on, has a stupid song that's playing in the foreground so you can't hear them. So he's got the actual video playing on this, we'll be playing his actual video, which doesn't have subtitles, but we're watching mine that is subtitled. Because it's actually really funny when you're hearing some of them, because they're doing a lot of comedy relief that's a full character, not just Brock, who for hundreds of episodes has been your entire comedy relief in himself. Next to your main character.
Oh, and they don't even have that in the new series. What do? They have the Rowan Host Club reject.
Yeah, they have a guy that pretty much talks really awkwardly to everyone about smells. Smells and tastes. And I do try to give Pokemon credit and try to rewatch it every season. I'll try to give it credit. But when episode 1 comes out and Pikachu lost to a
level 5
Snivy in one shot, I was like, and then I started watching Cross Wars again, and I was extremely happy again. And I forgot all about it, but now I'm going to have to show you it again.
Oh no.
No! That was for later. I do admit the Japanese version of the song is a lot better than the American though.
Anything America does pretty much sucks. I'm sorry.
Avatar.
There is no Avatar movie. There is no Dragon Ball Z movie.
Yeah.
The only Dragon Ball movie happened in the 60s in Japan. If you haven't seen it, watch it, because Master Roshi falls through Nimbus.
Oh no, the world's being destroyed. What are we going to do? Well, let's rely on...
Choo-choo.
Oh crap, we're screwed.
Oh no! The level 100 Pikachu that we still haven't evolved because he's going to learn more speed attacks, we swear. That was the only reason he kept him from evolving in the first season. Was because he wanted him to learn speed attacks. And I'm like, he's learned every speed attack we have. Evolve him. He will be better.
Okay, everybody, I'm just gonna pull up Dragon Ball Z.
I'm going to stop there because I really hated all their gym leaders with a passion. And after seeing pretty much the Elmo wannabe karate guy, I got really depressed. And once again, watched Crossword.
Oh no, continue. You're going to be depressed in this last part.
No, I've seen it. I don't want to watch the rest.
Show them. It's panel. You gotta show them. Dragon Ball Z reference in 3, 2, 1.
And wait for it. The opening is the only thing that actually has any action-packed scenes in it.
They're desperate.
You know, I got a great
idea. Let's make them fly.
Because this is what you get out of the most epic, I say, evolution they have, and this is all you get out of it. Amazing voice acting. And then he proceeds to beat the crap out of Ash. For the next 30 episodes.
It's okay. After probably about maybe 50 severe burns later, he finally...
Because he does what? He like takes a hit for him and he's like, I have a heart now, or something like that. I don't care. You don't have to correct me. I know I'm probably wrong because I don't care. Because I'm about to show you something amazing. Let's go to, I'll show you the Digimon Cross Wars opening. Oh, dude, that's really loud in the girls.
Now, here's a very interesting thing about X-Cross. There is no simple digivolution. Power Rangers. I mean, technically, it's not technically right.
I love the Monothermon because they're the ninja TV screens of the digital world.
Okay, and
Like he was about to mention, for those that know Digimon, I'm sure everyone here, even the Pokemon fans, that watched at least season 1 Digimon. And that gave you at least the basic rundown of like in training, rookie, and all that stuff. Well, the one big thing is if you watch through the different seasons, unlike Pokemon, who keeps the same the same evolution sequence for everything, never changes. I think the most they got was a Crocodile that turned blue instead of white. I think that was their big change in their evolution. Digimon, after season 2, which they still did an alternate version of their Digivolutions, after season 2 and 3, they finally actually left the realm of megas and all that stuff. And season 4, which started with my group, actually used spirit evolutions. And I will be showing an example of all this stuff. Uses spirit evolutions where they actually became the Digimon. Season 5 we don't talk about. Season no. My joke of season 5 is...
he's not worried about you, sure.
He also is buff and has a neck that could actually support his head. We've looked at the picture that shows all of them standing next to each other. Every one of them looks 10, with a neck the size of a pencil, with a head the size of a basketball. Except for this guy, who is muscular, thick-necked,
no goggles,
and
no
no goggles.
goggles.
Which, that was my thing about my keys, the leader with no, there's no one with goggles in the entire series. And I was like, come on, the goggles, that's the one thing Digimon has for itself for the leader. Everyone. They even make fun of it in Hunters. Because he's like, yeah, this guy, in Hunters, the new guy comes up in like a 3-month time skip.
I like the
and he comes in, he's like, I've got my goggles too, and he's totally trying to one-up the last guy that came through, and he sucks at it until like the last 2 episodes.
He's kind of like Jaden from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX.
No, he's kind of like Davis from season 2. No offense to Davis, but he kind of had the I want to be like Ty kind of vibe for a good bit of it. Especially when Ty comes out and when TK comes in and goes, Angemon. And he's like, you have TK and Kari go Angemon, Angemon, and of course Davis has this creepy crush on Kari, which never works out, by the way. And proves of that one picture, by the way.
Tries to force Digimon and evolve into like some edgy dinosaur.
He started screaming at Digimon, going, "Can you turn into Angel Babymon, anything?" He starts shaking him, and I'm like, "Oh my God, get over it."
I don't have it in me.
Yes. I'm like, "Oh my God." But I do like how season 6 and 7 came through because they completely changed the boundaries of everything you would think of. Because they actually do a similar thing to where they're kind of fusing everything into one. So it's similar to the DNA Digivolving season 2 had. But they actually take bits and pieces of every Digimon, that's the strongest parts of them, and combine them into one. And they do actually go delve into the cross. The Digicross.
Looks like Ultron.
It gets totally worse. It's totally worse.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. All of the Digimon in X-Cross are actually like, you would say, for example, Puppetmon. You know, he's a mega in season 1 and in season 2. He got his butt handed to him by what you would consider a rookie. I mean, like, what was his name? Shoutmon. Well, just by randomly guessing.
By this guy right here.
What would you suggest?
Who here would think that's a rookie? At best, maybe champion because of Gachamon.
This guy knocked out an ultimate level in one hit and one punch.
Yeah, which I do actually give that credit for it because that's one thing I didn't like about Pokemon is even though they would evolve to their highest rank, they would still get the ever-loving crap beat out of them by these guys that you would never think would beat them up. Pikachu, a lot, and yet he can go one-on-one with the Dragonite. Oh, Snivy, level 5. One shot. I'm like, what?
This is something I would like to say. For those of you who here is actually current with the Japanese Pokemon Black and White 2. Okay.
Hey, where's your video?
Who here actually cares about spoilers? Spoilers.
Well, are you talking about the anime or the game?
Okay, the worst thing the creators could ever do was not only not allow an Ash to evolve his Snivy and his Oshawott, but they give Iris a freaking Dragonite. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. YouTube this. She literally captures a Dragonite. I'm talking a freaking Dragonite that KOs any ice type that comes against it. What were they thinking? I mean, seriously. She's already one up Ash. I mean, Ash should just go home right now. I'm sorry. Like, there's no way he can do that. I'm speechless. Charizard, can we get Charizard in here, please?
Okay, so for those that have seen Hunters, you know something amazing is about to blow up in this guy's face. Because this is, basically, these guys are your main characters in Season 6, which is Crosswords.
Well,
they've come back as Hunter, and he is the Digimon King. He comes in, and he basically comes in and beats the crap out of everyone that your main character can't.
Because 6 and 7 are pretty much almost like a loop. This is probably like maybe 2 to 3 years later. You know, as you can see
it's not even that. Couldn't have been more than a year.
Well, you can see the difference in him. He's got the crown on his side, labeling him the Digimon King. Yeah. And they're in fight with a Digimon called what was it?
I don't remember, but he was going to destroy. He was going to digitize the entire world and envelop it and destroy it. So pretty much every Digimon season by the end of the world.
Well, you see at the very end of the final battle with the main villain from the 6th season, the energy left behind to create a alternate dimension called Digicords.
Well, we'll get into that's too much into just Digimon.
That's true, but
I mean, we could sit here and we'll go to Digimon for
video
to town. But let me show you this one, then we'll get into more of the combining. So 1, 2, 3. So if it sounds all slightly, that's because it's playing through his.
Finally, a real Digimon.
So we got 5 and 1. Here comes season 2. Wait for it. Magnamon. Bandit.
俺は本宮大輔太一さんの後輩だけど今は同い年だ
And this is a whole different dimension thing. That's why they all...
Oh, here's 3, 4. Bam.
時間から来たんだよ
Wait for it. Yeah.
これだけ横にいてどこにいないけど
The sad thing is...
今松田高田パートナーが着るも
His voice still scared me for the entire time I watched Japanese. Here comes the awesome part of this. Not him, but...
No, Mark is still away.
Wait for it, wait for it. You see a lot of old school guys come in this scene. That's amazing.
Your fusion
Kids show, yay! See, Bull! Joe Bull! Joe! They're in the wrong nation. They got into the wrong nation.
Q next song.
Wait for it. You know what DNA is? Yeah! Your best season bad. Susanoo. There's Omegamon in Japanese, if you never understand it.
そっちのはエージェントスピリットエボリューションで
Yeah.
今までねどうだったんですか
Everybody! Equal.
来てくれたんだ
Nudity. And look, he even copies the ability. Wait a minute. Look! He totally copied the ability. That's all it is. Yeah. Okay, that's enough.
俺もやるぜ
See, that's what I'm laughing at. Salmon is basically him and Digimon. No. Just giant explosions for like 5 minutes straight. That's all it is. That's all this is. This is the funniest one. It's a nuke.
派手なのが来るぞみんな駆けるぞ
Dude, this is hilarious watching this. Boo! So yeah, if you can tell me the episode that happens in Pokemon, anything better than that, I will lay down my gloves. If you can show me anything Pokemon does that's at least that
I
good.
gotta ask you this. Where's your Power Rangers
The
now?
only thing I can see that happening is if the Dragonite from season 1, the gigantic massive one that was never heard of again, if that one actually used an ability, yeah, sure, that would happen. Everyone else, no.
That's season 1.
Arceus could Arceus against that, no. Your ultimate god is a deer. It's a deer. We're in the South. This doesn't work for us. Come on. They're speaking anti-cars all the time. But yeah, those are kind of my jokes I have. I do have at least one more Cross Wars thing I'm going to show, but I'll show it here in a little bit, so I'm not running out of all of my videos in like 5 seconds. Because we've technically only spent 12 minutes since we started like 10 minutes early. So we got a long time to go, so plenty of stuff to talk about. So I do actually, with Pokemon, I will hands down, this is what I've talked to them about. Hands down, Pokemon has one advantage over Digimon that Digimon has yet to, and for years, could not beat them. Movies. Because there is not a Digimon movie in existence. For those that deny, no, hey. The Digimon movie is not a movie. The Digimon movie is 3 extended episodes from Japan. So there is not a single Digimon movie in existence.
No, every season has a movie.
No, they have an extended episode, which is like 30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah.
You would need at least an hour-long episode
Except for the
to...
very first one that came out.
That's not a movie. The Digimon movie, with the Digirap and all that stuff, that's 3 extended episodes from Japan.
Yeah, it is.
Digimon movie, our war game, and Hurricane Touchdown, Supreme Evolution, both Digimentals rolled into one.
What about Long X Evolution?
Oh, well, okay, he's got me there. There is a CG Digimon movie that wasn't really part of any of the storylines. And I mean, I watched it and it was interesting, but it was weird because your hero Digimon turned into one of the evolutions of the evil Digimon and then became the supreme, amazing, super badass Digimon at the end by doing the same Digivolution the same guy did, but it was evil. And I was like, okay.
Can I ask one question about Digimon?
Sure.
Why do they always kill Leomon?
I feel really bad because I love the comment just because I almost cosplayed as Beelzemon.
Yes!
I didn't have time to finish the cosplay, but I almost did it, and I would have loved him for asking that. I'm like, it just happened. He ran in there. I just had my hand out pointing at him. He just ran at me.
No, I mean, the next evolution, he's the very first one to die. Not even 5 minutes into the movie.
Can I just say that he's in
The next evolution is the movie, the CGI movie. Not 100%.
Yeah.
You said show you one thing that Pokemon's done that's more
That's better than that.
In my opinion, Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, and Lugia all fighting each other at the same time was pretty fucking amazing.
Repeat this question for me, sir. Because I'm pretty sure that did not happen when all of them used their
They
abilities.
almost destroyed the whole planet. They didn't need an explosion.
Was this in the anime or the manga?
Okay, let me show you the ending. Okay, because of them. Hold on.
Movie 2!
Okay,
He spoke about Pokemon
for
2000.
him, I want to show him the ending of Cross Wars.
There you go, man.
The ending of Cross Wars. For those that know what's coming, you get to laugh and point at him for the entire video.
Yes.
I will acknowledge you pointing and laughing at him. Because this is the final cross.
コードクラウンが教えてくれた、出てくろって。
Sadly, it's not subtitled. I couldn't find the good subtitle version of it. So yeah. You can point and start laughing in about 7 seconds. Yeah. Did anyone else see the creepy grin? Yeah. Anyone else? I missed this the first time I watched it, and I rewatched it, of course, practicing for this panel here, and I rewatched it and was like, oh my god. Yeah! I saw that and I was like, okay, I wonder if they did this as a joke, just because it only lasts like a split second, but it's long enough for me to catch this and go, oh my god. Guys, he has the weirdest boner right now.
Are we right now? I mean, seriously.
This is your hero, and he totally looks like he's like, I'm gonna kill you all.
I'm sure they want to kill him to get in his pocket.
See, now he's a good guy.
Now, please point and laugh.
Yeah, let's begin.
In 3, 2, 1.
Because the first part isn't even the best. The second part of the evolution is the best part. That's what people do.
One
Just so
Digimon
you
is
know.
working everything until this happens. It gets better.
Okay, for this part that's about to come up, what you don't realize, he just tore open the fabric of the universe and went into the digital world, and the entire digital race is combining with him right now. Yes. The entire digital world is going to combine with him. Look at this. Look at these things.
Now,
Black Star!
This Digimon, now who exactly does that look like?
Black Eater seems Soul Eater. Black Star.
We didn't kill him. We used him as Digimon. We absorbed his essence. It's not killing.
That Digimon is called Ignitemon.
And he literally is a ninja who is like the brother to one of the other Digimon, which you're gonna
blue hair. He has blue hair and
But yeah, this is by far ridiculously amazing. Pokemon, you get your glowing white. Here's ours. We're still not done yet. We got another like 15 seconds.
Don't call Power Rangers, we got someone to help you connect door.
Yeah, I think we got this one, guys. Wait for it. Yeah, you can start pointing and laughing at that guy now. I'm totally messing with you, man. I mean, Pokemon does have its good points, but it's just that.
All that is Voltron done Digimon style.
Dude, I don't care, that's still better. I don't care, you give me a Pokemon that does that, sure, I'll start talking to you.
Hold on. Got a question, boss. Can you give us a grant so we can beat the crap out of that thing?
Maybe.
Please?
No.
Oh, come on, please! You would need a lot of Pokemon. See, like, it would take the Dragonite thing to at least stand a chance.
You couldn't even steal a Dragonite!
And like, my favorite part about this is he doesn't even use a finisher move. He just stabs the guy.
Well, you gotta think about it. There's another Digimon that takes funding, so you can't really...
All that stabs him. All the Digimon of the entire world around him. Blah, 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 I'm gonna die, blah, 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 blah. Okay, we're done.
Okay, see, all Pokemon has to do is take Snorlax and just throw him on top of him.
Okay, when does Snorlax get the size of the... Get a Snorlax the size of the Dragonite from Season 1, and you've got a challenge.
I'll find him, don't worry.
Challenge accepted.
Okay, so you bring that guy, we'll bring that, and we'll see how this goes. We have a stick.
Groudon's bigger.
Oh, hold on.
Groudon's bigger. It's Snorlax. Let's see that.
Oh, yeah. Here, let me go back to that other video with the nuke. And, yeah. Technically, if you think about it, this guy absorbed that guy. So, yeah. About that. But yeah, I mean, that's just some of the stuff that we have that's just joking stuff for the Digimon stuff. But, I mean, we do give and take for each one of them, because they both do have their strong points and their weak points. The weak point of Pokemon is their main character. No, in the anime. Their manga, Red, has a lot better of a chance. If we talk about Gold and Silver, we don't, because they kind of have the same ending as Final Fantasy 13. Crystals. I'm not going to talk about that, but... Yeah, done. The end of Gold and Silver kind of, yeah.
Well, let's see, we got Ruby and
They saved the world, there's just not going to be a Gold and Silver 2.
You got a question over here? Question?
One other thing that always has kind of bothered me about Pokemon, do you all realize what they eat? They don't have real
Farfetch.
animals in that world.
Inside of
Yeah, we know.
and Tauros. They actually mention that. They do mention they have Tauros, Farfetch, and Psyduck things that they're eating. And the Magikarp. And Miltank.
Hey, the very Slowpoke Tails.
Hey, there's Mankey.
Hold on, okay.
You cannot eat Magikarp. They tried this. The outside of Magikarp, it broke his
Well, no, they made a joke about you being able to eat it. You'd have to get through the dang scales.
Yeah.
Then James over here kicked Matt's car off the...
It can Gyarados, can't I? All I gotta do is take the thing off and up. And then from that point on, all of their submarines were magic cards. Blown up at least like 4 times from what I remember by Gyarados.
Well, I'm sorry, but there's other submarine contacts.
I have to say about your giant robot thingy here in Digimon. All you need to do is gather all the psychic Pokemon, have them using noses, he's done for.
Only 151 exist, I'm sorry.
However, think about this. Can psychics work on robots? Exactly.
Okay, for the thing about...
It's not a robot. It's a Digimon. Possess that thing and do whatever it wanted to do.
I do have a thing on the Arceus thing, because I did have someone trying to back me up that Arceus is immortal against everything. I'm like, I don't see a digital circuit in any of those, and digital, everything. So his attacks work.
Nah.
Because every ounce of it's digital, just in the real world.
Let me make a point about you saying everyone needs to use it. I was educated first. Yeah, Digimon can actually dodge, so in the game Pokemon does. Yeah.
There's dude.
Your rival's batting.
We'll do it later. There we go. So, Pokemon's manga may be amazing, but Digimon's got a pretty good series itself. This right here, I believe, was it Shine? No, Victory. Victory Greymon. I can't read it from over here. I'm sure it's over there on the side, but I can't read it from over here. But, yeah, it's got Victory Greymon over there in vertical letters. But the funniest thing about this is Tai is actually in one of the mangas with a different Digimon than Greymon. He's got Beedramon. And the best thing about this is they have their own little happy skip moments every time they win a battle. So Ash's little flippy hat thing, Tai does his little dance thing every time he wins battle.
Think about a happy gold miner dance where they all join hands and they run around in circles. That's their dance.
I couldn't get the picture of it. It wouldn't load a good enough picture to see it. But yeah, they literally hold arms and start dancing around each other. Like, yeah, we beat them up. And it's got like a dead Digimon behind them. But my favorite thing about it is the Digimon manga kind of makes jokes on itself because it makes a joke about the original Digimon Tamagotchi where you have the thing where it poos and all that stuff and you have to clean it. Well, Tai gets trapped in the digital world, but the Tamagotchi basically digital world. And so his Greymon does eat, and his Greymon does poo. Well, no, he had the Beedramon in this one. The Beedramon pooed, and it's this gigantic thing, like the size of the Digimon. And the Digimon is like twice the size of
It's like watching Jurassic Park 3 all over
with
again.
this like utter scared face going, what am I supposed to do with that? He's like, oh wait, pulls out the Tamagotchi out of his pocket, presses the clean button, and this giant, this giant swirl of like toilet water flies through, swirls it down a giant hole, and it disappears. And he's like, yeah! Puts it on and starts going on again.
And only you can do that in the real world.
So they do make fun of themselves, which is one of the things I really like about it. And they do make lots of things like this where Digimon's digital, or their evolution system is completely messed up. Because there's so many ways that you can have any Digimon become most any other Digimon, depending on card-based versus type-based. And all.
A Pixie-mon.
Do what?
I could turn this into a Pixie-mon.
You can turn Beelmon into a Pixie-mon. It actually, there's actual jokes. If you see card games to where they're playing through and you're seeing the evolution tree of like a Patamon becoming a Metal Greymon and all sorts of weird things.
You got Sukamon turns into Edamon. How does that make sense?
Yeah, right? So, yeah.
So Digimon World 3 wasn't just retarded, everything was just blacked out?
Digimon, they actually do talk about that. It's actually, sorry, I'm getting a bunch of checks over here. Yeah. Let's see, I'll actually show you a clip of it. If you ever heard I'll go into more into Digimon video games here in a second, but I will at least go into Digimon MMOs. That is where Digimon completely beats Pokemon out of the water, is that Pokemon's only MMO blew up, basically, because it got a whole ton of people in it and then crashed the system and all sorts of things. Yeah, Digimon has 2 that are both running, and you can pick pretty much almost any Digimon and do different evolution trees, to where this is not the one that does the different evolution trees. You actually go through the original evolution trees, like Patamon. One is one is Digimon Masters, and there's another one I think is actually Digimon MMO or something like that. But there's two different versions. One, you actually go through and you can actually use card-based attacks where it'll increase your attack defense, and you can actually evolve them, and it'll go through an evolution tree based off cards versus basic leveling, and then there's a third type tree, which is the way of Season 3 Digimon with the Biomerge. And it does do a Biomerge thing with, obviously, with Renamon back there.
Who here has actually played the original Digimon Digital World for the PlayStation?
Oh god.
It was so bad.
It really was.
Like, the bad thing is they didn't get much better, because each one after was pretty much the same thing, but with
At least
different
they had a
cards.
bathroom. At least
They did have a bathroom. You could go into lots of
There was
different
no
bathrooms.
toilet water flying through the
You
air.
couldn't really do much in them, but you could run into the bathroom for no reason.
Well, yeah, you had Agumon, didn't you?
Yeah.
What did it digivolve into?
Mine digivolved in poo once. It did digivolve into the little poo thing, because I played it through and made it like an evil thing and all this other stuff, and it did turn it into the little poo guy.
Normally, Agumon could either digivolve into Greymon, Meramon, or Monochromon. Mine became Meramon. And then mine became Bakumon because it died 3 times.
Yeah, mine ended up, I finally got the Greymon tree and all that stuff. But yeah, some of the Digimon games were really bad because they... Sorry, I'm like...
I like that song.
No, Pabomon.
They had some of the good storyline stuff, but then like the game was really hard to get into because it was just as bad as Pokemon with the grinding system, to where you would have to do a ridiculous amount of grinding to get to the next level, and then like you would fight one guy that was really weak, and then the next boss right after it in the next room was so stupidly powerful that you weren't expecting it, and he would come in and blow you away, and then you'd have to restart the level. And then you're angry at yourself because then your Digimon turns into the evil Digimon that sucks. And you have to restart the entire game, yeah. But I mean, there's lots of fun stuff with them.
We wouldn't happen to have any video.
This is one of the Digimon games that I hated because it's kind of like the Sonic game that had the swords. Same thing, but Digimon with swords. World 4, yeah, that was it. So yeah, they're not getting much better, but they do have some good games. But it kind of went off and did the kind of the Final Fantasy kind of battle system with this one, which I mean, it was interesting, but the Digimon have claws. They come with their own swords while you're giving them extra swords. It doesn't make sense. He gets a sword when he evolves. He doesn't need a sword now.
No, I've actually played that game. I couldn't figure out how to get past level 1.
It's awful.
That's sad.
You find a Pokemon on like the second level or so. And he's like,
Yeah, some of the stuff really doesn't make sense because if you go by, yes.
Greymon. Yes, Greymon.
Sorry, distraction. Let's see here.
Hey, what was your opinion on Digimon World DS and Dawn and Dusk?
Yeah, that's what I was
Do what?
Your opinion on Digimon World DS and Dawn and Dusk? Dawn and Dusk.
I actually played it.
I didn't actually play Dawn and Dusk. I feel bad about that.
I like it. Come on.
I actually did.
I got out of the video games just because I did get out of all of Digimon. After I saw the first 2 episodes of season 5 and got depressed and started watching other animes.
You have to get past the first 13 episodes.
No.
It's good.
No, because they got Mega in like the first half the season. I'm like, no. And they're getting beat in Mega, and then of course gets a little shiny red Emperor form.
Let's not forget another Leomon died.
Yeah, another Leomon died in that one.
2 died.
Actually, 3.
3. Who's the third?
The first one was the Leomon from the first season. The other one was from season 3, and then you have Bancho Leomon from season 5.
Oh yeah.
No, and then in season 4, Ice Leomon.
Yeah, you got it for it.
In season
Ice
5,
Leomon.
in season 5, you had Saber Leomon and Bancho Leomon.
Okay, and apparently the writers...
Well, we apparently just keep killing them. But we're nice to them in the last one.
No, actually, wasn't there a Leomon who did a Digicross with an Arachimon?
What?
I haven't seen Crosswork myself, but my brother told me about that. Some creepy Leomon thing Digivolve, like Digicross with an Arachimon, they killed that.
Probably talking about the one with the evil emperor.
Oh yeah. Well, it wasn't a Leomon. It was a similar style look, but it wasn't a Leomon type. It wasn't something Leomon.
Alright, so one time.
So once we get out of 7 seasons, we get one time we're nice to him and don't kill him, we absorb him. So yeah, we're not getting much better, but we give him back at the end of it. You see them all fly back into the digital world. We just don't give him any lines to talk.
And then die again.
Who here actually remembers Damemon?
Who?
Damemon.
What season?
Sukamon 2.0.
He's in Cross Wars. He kind of looks like a thing of poo, but he goes around going Dame the entire time, which means no. So he's running around screaming that all the time.
So he's Nomon, literally.
There's my thing of season 5, and it's even in it. It's awful.
Yeah, apparently Marcus can also
Here we go.
punch,
We were showing it
punch
earlier.
fire.
Wow.
I saw this years ago, and I was like, yeah, we'll show it. We'll rag on Pokemon a little bit. A little bit. This one, I felt so bad for them in this. Because it's like slow mode this scene, just, and they're just they're all staring at it. I'm like, dude, come on, move one way or the other. There's 2 of you. You can't hit both. Takes them both out. Yeah, I felt so bad for them during that. It was so bad.
Hey, it's good. Here's an interesting point. Did you ever watch the Japanese version of season 1?
Yes.
Yeah, you remember in the English version, Puffmon's just chasing TK around his house. In the
Yeah.
Japanese version, he's chasing around the house with a freaking 44 Magnum, shooting at him.
There is so... that is one thing that even Pokemon does the same thing. Pokemon and Digimon, both their Japanese and English counterparts, have so much differences that it's not even funny.
And it was poor kids.
We don't talk about anything
The
American really in
ruination
here.
is for kids.
Yeah. All I gotta say is a Kenshin movie coming out in Japan.
Yes, yes.
Okay, for the people that know it, the Kenshin movie in Japan, I won't mention more than this, but it's amazing looking. But yeah, I just put that because I hadn't shown anything from season 3 yet, so I was like, it's fun. I do feel bad. Pretty much all I've got is like that one picture of the Mewtwo, and that's about all I've got Pokemon related on here besides that and this, which I was gonna make some jokes about a Pokemon trading card game that I'm sure no one actually played like the Digimon card game. People basically learned the rules, played it for like a year, and then Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh came out.
Oh, you had a question in the back?
Oh, 1 second, guys. Ears.
I was saying I played the card game, so.
No, I played the card games back in like preschool for like 2 or 3 years. Got them all stolen, bought a new entire $100 worth of cards of my mother's money, of my parents' money, lots and lots of money of my parents' money. And then I got into Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic, and then I had to use my own money, and then I gave up on that game when I got a job in college because I couldn't keep doing it. It's kind of like World of Warcraft. I was like, no, I don't have enough money for this.
Did you ever play the Digimon battle game?
Yes.
Card game.
For a while, but I mean, God, some of the rules of the Digimon card game are so extremely complicatedly stupid.
They look awesome.
I mean, the concept of some of the Digimon card games is cool, but logically and physically trying to play it out, you have to be a freaking genius. You would have to be Yugi to actually get the card game and know the rules, because I'm sure your Pokemon card game rule book is like this. Your Digimon card game rulebook would be like this, because it's got to show all the Digimon evolution trees, and it's like, crap.
I'm sure we've all seen the whole, what was it, Reshiram and Zekrom versus the Blue Eyes White Dragon and the Red Eyes.
Vanguard.
Sorry, my throat's like dying right now.
I'm sure you need to drink that water.
Yeah, I think I've got most of mine, I think, done here on my side, so I might have to switch to his, and we can start making fun of Pokemon, because that's pretty much all he's got.
Yeah, I think this is actually free.
1 second, guys. Yes.
As far as images in defense of Pokemon, have you seen the one where they said, where it's Mewtwo versus Frieza, and it says shit just got real?
It looks almost the exact same, just Frieza's like 4 feet shorter than Mewtwo.
Because honestly, that's how you can defend Pokemon. I've asked 1,000 people. We don't know who would win that fight.
Well, see, you got to think about it in the fact that the Dragon Ball Z universe is so stupidly overpowered compared to the Pokemon. They can pretty much sneeze or blink and the world would die by season 3 of the I mean, they'll come back, but...
Okay, for the Pokemon fans,
Frieza can blow up the planet, the weather is being changed.
okay, who here knows Street Fighter? Anyone play Street Fighter games? Who knows the Street Fighter character Blanca? Big green guy?
Hey, Death Battle, he just killed Pikachu.
Yes, a Death Battle by Screw Attack have just uploaded a battle, Blanca versus Pikachu.
What?
I I do not kid. If this video exists, go on YouTube, subscribe to Screw Attack, and yeah, watch it. It is very entertaining on my part.
I haven't watched that battle.
No. That doesn't count.
Oh, yeah.
Say something, James.
Hey, James, I got a couple of questions for you. You know, we talked about Digimon this whole time. Like, let's get a little bit of NZU on Pokemon. James, what is it actually like working for Giovanni?
Well, and please be specific, please.
But we tried our best. We're kind of attached to the Twerp's Pikachu for a long time. We wanted to do something else, but every time we do that, we're attached to the Twerp.
You do know this thing lost to level 5 Snivy. Why are you still going after that thing?
I kind of wonder exactly.
You know, there's also one thing. You know, we all know you are the son of two really creepy billionaires. And your creepy fiance is always out to get you.
Don't mention it!
Okay, I got it done.
Okay.
I pretty much the reason I make the joke where I have him on most of my panels only for when I switch things around and need a few seconds of silence.
I'm the entertainment.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Now we're going to get more into the Pokemon realm, so I'm not completely bashing Pokemon the entire time. I do give some credit to Pokemon's manga. Not Ash, not anything from the anime, none of them. I will give credit to anyone named after a color. Especially green. Kidding. What?
What about Diamond Pearl Platinum? Do they count?
It's kind of like me. I got through. I read all of red, blue, green, yellow, and then kind of read some of
I've actually read the
silver
manga.
and gold. Read the ending, laughed at it, and then stopped watching anything.
No, I've actually read the manga for Diamond and Pearl, how all the characters are in there. I will say Diamond is actually really decent because he has Regigigas.
Yes.
He does have Regigigas, which is technically a legendary.
And Munchlax.
Yeah, and that one too. And he does have Torterra. After all, you know, Ash kind of also beat there because he has a Torterra too. But then, you know, it's Ash.
But can you control how many Razor Leafs you want?
This is the same guy who apparently went through the entire Sinnoh League actually kicking butt. You know, he brought all his Pokemon back, and what did the writers do? They stuck a guy with a Darkrai at him. Loses.
Yeah. But yeah, what I do want to give credit to with the manga for Pokemon is they do the realistic thing of, okay, this guy has a razor sharp blade that cuts stone. What happens when you put a knife and a snake in a fight? The knife's going to win. And what happens to the snake? Its head pops off. Yeah, there you go. Literally, Gary comes in with a scyther and literally cuts up the Arbok.
Actually, that's
That's a Charmeleon.
Oh, shit. Sorry. I was looking at the other picture.
That's blue.
Yeah, it's blue.
Oh, sorry.
Blue, you idiot.
I can't see it from over here. I don't have my contacts.
There's actually a kind of a manga mix-up. You see, in the American, they actually said Gary's alter form is
What other
blue.
pictures do you have on the front page? I know, but that's not a
I
picture.
have a Japanese version.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, Lieutenant Surge, I will give him credit in the manga because he uses a Voltorb cannon that literally shoots Voltorbs at people and blows them up. They die. Oh, this one's the Electro one? Oh, he has a Voltorb on it though.
One Voltorb. The rest are all
Usually he shoots the Voltorb one. He upgraded and got a Zapdos backpack. So it has a unlimited amount of charge, which I'm kind of wondering how the whole electricity thing doesn't shock him too.
See, he actually,
It's
he
let us
explained
do
that
that,
he has a suit underneath his clothes.
I haven't actually read any Pokemon anything or watched any Pokemon in 5 years because I don't like it.
True Digimon fan for your friends.
creator of Pokemon said he wanted the games to be kind of like the manga.
I would give Pokemon games every way, hands down, if they can make the game like the manga.
Well, the black and white games are actually becoming more and more like the manga, whereas it's story-based, story-driven rather than...
The story is actually a little bit darker and stuff. I'm not
It's not just here's gym leaders go beat them. That's Pokemon.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't actually play any of those just because my whole joke is, the reason I got out of Pokemon is because my game glitched on me and it's Misty's fault. Because I had silver, and everyone knows Misty's supposed to be on the dang bridge. I did everything. I even restarted the game, played it through, the entire strategy guide away, and I hate doing the strategy guide. Both times she never appeared on the bridge, and I was like, done. And I never played a single game from then on, and I'm happy. Because each game is the same basic concept. except now you can make them look pretty, and you can spend hours at the daycare trying to get the one Pidgey you want that has a special ability. EVs. And then don't you have the picture of the video of the Arceus losing to like the level 1 guy?
I wasn't able to get that one.
Yeah, see, this is my thing that made me laugh so hard at the Pokemon games is there's glitches in their way of programming it, in that it was like the focus sash, I think.
No, apparently there was a way you can actually defeat a level 100 Arceus with a level 1 Rattata. There's an item, correct me if I'm wrong, it's called like a focus sash.
Focus sash, you give them one thing.
Yeah, it gives you, when you get hit by one hit KO, it'll leave you with one HP. And you use a, what was it, Facade?
Endeavor.
Yeah, Endeavor. So it does the same amount of damage. So Rattata uses Tackle against level 100 Arceus, brings it all the way to 1 HP. And then since Rattata knows Quick Attack, which always attacks first as everyone knows, Rattata attacks it, does 1 damage, Arceus down, Rattata wins.
Extreme speed.
Exactly.
You ever seen that guy who got to beat Cynthia using all of an entire level 1 team? Champion in black and white. He just tears her to pieces using just level 1 Pokemon. He just used
It was scary.
yeah, he used type advantage.
Sorry it's taking so long, guys.
When are we going to start making the joke about how inhumane Pokemon is?
I actually was holding off on that because I was wanting to do that later on so we can make all the horrible bad jokes about how Digimon versus Pokemon, they're both kind of shoving live animals, well kind of live, into very small, tight objects that they then throw at people. And they have made fun of that on Robot Chicken, and it killed the Digimon, or Pokemon. And one of them made fun of the Pikachu in that he has an entire harem of other female Pikachus, and he gets high inside of the Pokeball. And then he can hear him from outside, and he's like, dang it. Pops back out, and then gets like blown up.
Or no, when it's like the Squirtle, almost like the Squirtle and the Pikachu is like,
yeah, screw this! No, they'll give me the gas. So apparently all the Pokemon can talk, but they're forced to... But yeah, apparently they can all talk and they make fun of that. But yeah, the anime's so bad. But I've tried to read more of the manga, and some of it I do like because you actually see Giovanni comes in and he's like befriends Red for a few times, and all right, I have a text message.
obviously.
Sorry.
Hold it up.
What, you forget to clean your Digimon's poop?
There is a Digimon game you can get on an app. And I read some of the details of it, and it kept saying, they're going to die in like 7 days. I'm like, that would suck, but it'd be really cool to still do it. And it does a 4-screen, split screen, and you actually, it's the original Tamagotchi Digimon game. You get the egg, you raise it, it does poo, you have to clean it and all this stuff. What? Just go into the App Store and go Digimon. It's one of the Tamagotchis. And I got it. 7 days later, I'm an Angemon, a Greymon, a Ogremon. The weird one was my Greymon was from my Patamon. My Ogremon was from my Agumon, and my Angemon was from my, who did Greymon? Growlmon?
Growlmon? Guilmon.
No, not Growlmon, Garurumon.
Gabumon.
Yeah, out of Gabumon, that Digimon and Angemon. So like I said, it uses the old school type of Digimon where if you're really good to it, it'll evolve into something really cool, but not what you want.
Gabumon, Digivolve 2.
And then I had all these ones, and then 7 days later, I'm like, got into day 8, and immediately all of them go and die. I'm like, no! Because I actually did all this crap with it, like every 3 hours I had to go in, train it, give it a whole bunch of these little pills that make it grow. And I'm like, hey, gross. That was the biggest thing about the original Tamagotchi that ticked off a lot of parents was you give them these little pill pellets instead of food and making it actually work out, and it makes it really, really, really strong, but then it can't take a hit worth crap, but it's really, really strong, so it can punch someone and kill them in one hit, but if it misses, it's gonna die. But I was like, yay!
You like Pikachu?
No! I think we pretty much pulled on Pikachu's tail for the rest of the day if we wanted to.
That thing's only useful for a battery.
No.
Have you seen that picture with it, by the way?
What?
Charles.
No, my only picture I love is
He just fire touches the campfire. Why not? Thank you.
I've got two pictures I love that makes fun of Pokemon. And one is a picture of Pikachu with this horrified face, and he's looking up at something. And you just see this giant shadow over it. And it's got this big bubble screen that goes, Wailord use body slam. And it's just this horrified face, Pikachu going, and you're just like, that poor creature would die in the real world. There's no way a 1,500-pound animal that's crushing a 5-pound rat, the rat would not survive this in any way possible, unless he's on a giant marshmallow that's going to sink him into it somehow.
Well, no, Pikachu could have done Thunderbolt.
No, in reality, that thing would die. There would be a blood splatter where that thing was.
Actually, it would just look like Sephiroth came through. There'd just be a giant crater.
It'd be a giant splatter, and then the well would die too because it's on land. Yay!
But in the show, Pikachu would just Thunderbolt, there'd be a hole, and it would just miss Pikachu.
Yeah, that's why you do the same thing on Super Smash Brothers. You just spam the down A button. You go, pick up, just,
and everyone's just like, ah!
And then you stop, and they're like, yes! And you just wait, keep timing it the exact moment until they made Mewtwo who could fire the ball at you, and you're like, dang it.
And then they replaced him with Lucario, which is technically no difference.
Mewtwo is better than Lucario.
Thank you.
But my only other picture I love about it is there's two versions of it, but one I love is with Gary in it. And it's got a picture of, it's got to be red and blue. It can't be Gary because it's actually red in it, so it'd be red and blue. And it's Red jumping on top of a Scyther, and he's holding up the HM or fly, and it goes, Scyther can't learn fly. And it's like, what? He's got big wings. There's another version that has him riding Charizard. Same basic concept. Charizard can't learn fly either. We don't know why. But Dragon type, that's not a Dragon type because it didn't have Dragon types, blah, 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 doesn't, no. Until now, and now he's even worse. He's like stupidly weak now because they gave him the quad weakness and all this stuff, and I hated when people told me about quad weakness. I was like, so all my cool Pokemon suck compared to everyone else now. Thanks. Because we only have one type, and then
they gotta make room for the new wave, like you.
Like the refrigerator Pokemon.
Groudon.
Wasn't there an ice cream thing or something?
Captain America? What? I remember Garbage.
Yeah, and the garbage Pokemon.
I like Garbage.
I kind of think he should be in the evolution tree of Muck. Because it would be really funny if Grimer Muck, trash guy.
What about Garbage Mine? What about him?
It makes sense when they talk about it.
That's Trashmon, not Garbage.
No, I love Digimon, the little slug guys that throw poo at
Or
it.
Trashmon.
It's Garbage.
Why don't you have a vibrate?
I don't want to.
Weren't there
What achievements need to be unlocked?
Pikachu that had nothing to do with water?
Oh, Pikachu can surf. Pikachu can learn surf and fly. So Pikachu can learn surf and fly, but Charizard can't learn fly. Scyther can't learn fly. All these people, all these Pokemon with what? Yeah, and I didn't finish the Gary thing because that's not the funny part. Because then it has him with this like troll face glaring up at the sun, and he's just a little dot in front of the sun, and it's blue on top of a Pidgey, going Pidgey rule. He's on a Pidgey the size of his feet, and it's flying him across the air, and I'm like, that poor bird is gonna die. Yeah, it's in the picture. Ash has his ticked off.
Ladies and gentlemen, Digimon.
Yeah, see, the one Digimon that takes forever to freaking Digivolve and only Digivolves for like 10 seconds, but stupidly badass every time he does it, and kills himself pretty much every time he does it too.
He can hold his own against Piedmon on Mega level, who's got people with swords.
I want to see who gets it first.
Thundercats.
Yeah. I'm ignoring you. Hey, I got better songs.
No.
I have more interesting songs on here too. No.
What do I want to hear though?
But they're fun songs.
You got questions? Yeah, I doubt it.
So? Question? Yes, question. Him first, then I'll get to you.
the little picture where it's like comparing Ash to Red?
Yes.
Yeah, there didn't even need to be made. We all know Red could beat the ever-loving crap out of Ash. I mean, the worst thing is when they actually made a manga of Ash, it was one manga, and they did the right thing of not continuing it. Because he was better, but still sucked. Like, they gave him like a few one-ups, and he was better in some of his fights, but he still was really bad. And I'm quite positive he missed catching something that would have been amazing.
I think like in this one, his original Pokemon was Charmander, and then he caught Pikachu along the way.
Yeah, he caught Pikachu along the way. Your computer sucks. Okay, question
I don't know.
I'm gonna wait. I think you mentioned about the different manga from compared to, and then you mentioned.
The what?
No, not that. I mean, the manga that was closer to the TV show.
Oh, the Ash manga? I mean, it literally was one book, and they make fun of it because it does this chronological thing of Red, and then it has this little arrow that has a picture of the Ash manga, and then it goes back over and keeps going back to Red. And all I remember that I loved about Yellow, even though I really didn't like Yellow that much, was you get to see Bruno beat the ever-loving crap out of Red. Like, he is just beating the crap out of him. I'm like, this is what happens when you deal with an Elite Four member. And then, of course, Ash fights one of the Elite Four members in the anime, and man, he got beat up. And I was happy. Don't we have until 9:30? Do we? Yeah, we're until 9:30. We got another half hour.
I actually got into an argument over this guy over the internet about who's better, Ash or Red, and he said at least Ash can speak English because Red never talks in the games.
So neither does Link, but he does pretty good in the game.
Exactly. When yours epic is Red, you pretty much don't have to say any words.
Yeah, Red doesn't need to talk. He can go, hey look, Poliwhirl is better than every one of Ash's Pokemon probably.
Damn.
You must phrase the question in the form of an actual question, sir. More than one word, preferably.
Oh yeah, I remember. I believe I read somewhere that apparently in the anime, Ash has still not beaten Lance.
He tied with Lance, didn't he? Or something like that, wasn't it?
Even Red didn't.
No, yeah, even Red didn't win against Lance. Lance is stupidly good in the manga. He is ridiculously good. The game is bullcrap.
All of his Pokemon can spam Hyper Beam.
Pretty much.
They all go, hey look, spam, and they kill you. Every one of them can do that.
My question is not just that. How are they making any effort to translate that into the game? Because right now, at least if I play my Ampharos can take on the entire Elite Four and win.
Well, what you got to think about with the video game is none of the Elite Four are ever going to have level 100 Pokemon. But if they ever gave you level 100 Pokemon, that would actually make the game challenging, and then kids wouldn't want it. Because that's why they give you this little thing that lets you do Wi-Fi now instead of the full link cable. And you fight other people, which makes the game actually challenging, because other people are intelligent. Unlike in the game, they're like, okay, we're going to use A, now attack B, now attack B, now attack A, now attack C and D. Oh no, my Pokemon died. Well, here's $4,000, sir. Thanks. Well, that's what always got me is apparently you've got to be a rich son of a gun to walk around on the street and be a Pokemon trainer. Because if you lose, you owe a lot of money to people.
You lose half.
Yeah, I can back up the intelligence. Like Koga, when he first offered the first Red or the red version or blue version, his last Pokemon's coughing when you fight him in the gym, and he uses self-destruct. Why?
There is another picture I love that had a picture of that. It's a picture of a Voltorb. And the people that know this know how sad it is. Because like, this Voltorb is totally a beast. Because he's like, I got this. Because like, he beats up this one Pokemon. I can't remember the second one, but it's this really strong second Pokemon. Yeah, something like an Onyx or something. And the Voltorb's like, obviously really beat, but it has this like really angry face going, I can do this, I can do this. Then it goes, it has a bubble picture of the trainer's thing, and it goes, Voltorb, you self-destruct. And the Voltorb turns around and has this really sad face. And then you see this big explosion. And I'm like, that's what I kind of feel bad for. Why is this a move that kills your Pokemon?
I saw this video on YouTube. Someone's playing a realm of gold. They counter-strategy Voltorb and use self-destruct.
Now, I wonder if Weezing could do the same thing. Since Weezing can float and everything, if you tell it to use Explosion, if you could just fly right down to the ground and then use Explosion, that's like a bomb coming from the sky.
Yeah, but no one uses Weezing.
Weezing can actually use self-destruct and explosion. Yep.
So
but technically, shouldn't they both kill the thing, kinda, logically?
Well, actually, that depends. But since self-destruct and explosion are actually...
It works in Dragon Ball Z every time.
No. Yeah.
Every time the guy's like, I'm gonna sacrifice myself, they don't survive it.
But the thing is...
Pokemon, yeah, no, we got this guy.
The thing is, self-destruct and explosion are actually considered to be physical type.
Vegeta turned into stone, by the way. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the more chances the opponent's Pokemon will actually survive that attack, and it'll be all productive.
I don't play the Pokemon games. Like I said, Misty sucks in that game. No offense to Misty herself. Game Misty sucks.
What was that point you're making about Giovanni defending Red?
Oh, in like the original Red manga, no one knows anything about Giovanni. I mean, of course we do playing the game, so we know Giovanni, major evil guy. He's got everything. Giovanni comes in, he's just this dude in a suit who's completely badass looking, because he's this hugely buff giant guy that's like, by the way, I'm a gangster, possibly making fun of every mafia person in existence in the world, but we're not going to go out and say it. Do what?
It has things in Persian.
Yeah, it has things in Persian. And, pour me out.
I thought I was supposed to keep that a secret.
I'm sorry, that's what's all.
James?
Yes.
What was the deal with indie game trainers like NPC characters you fight all the time? Why did they never move? Why did they stay in that one spot throughout the whole game?
Their legs are all broken. I don't know. I mean, it's a video game. You can't just have people literally running around the entire world. Do you have any idea how hard that would be to program a game where they literally have free range of motion on the people you don't care about? I mean, all I would picture is, yeah, it really was. I love the joke where people make fun of Pokemon and Link, where all the evil guys go in this one line, and unless you cross that line when they're looking at you, they don't see you. But you can follow them back and forth, and they won't do it. And then you can't get away from the guys. If they see you, you're screwed. Better hope you're not about screwed and all your Pokemon are dead.
I would like to say this. Who remembers the very first movie where Ash gets turned to stone?
Oh, yes. That was the best ending ever. I turned it off right after that. I thought that was the end.
Until they're
I'm kidding. I am kidding that I did that, but I did it later on just to tick off on my friends.
Something similar actually happened in the Pokemon manga to all of them.
Gold and Silver. They stayed that way.
Oh yeah. There was an incident with Team Rocket and Deoxys. And all the trainers, red, blue, green, gold, silver, everyone else, even yellow, they all got turned to stone after that. And so, what happens? Oh, we don't hear about them until like all the way back in Black and White. Like, what happens to them? No one knows.
No one cried over that.
No one cared.
No Pikachu cried.
Because I didn't like Yellow. He was weird. Yeah, because Pikachu didn't cry and make everyone else cry.
It's like, go with that.
Yellow's a girl.
Huh?
Yeah, we all know. We all know Yellow.
In the manga, Yellow is a girl.
Yeah, we know.
I never got far enough in Yellow to care. Once Yellow started, it reminded me of the Yellow game, which I don't know what it is with me and Pikachu's, but I also killed my Yellow game Pikachu. It apparently had a awkward love with the Pokedex, or the Pokemon machine in one of the towns. And I went to the Pokemon thing, and you know you couldn't actually trade the Pokemon into it? I didn't. And yet, I left. It stayed there. And I was stuck for the rest of the game with 5 Pokemon. And you know what happened? I still beat it. Because all you need is one level 100, no matter what the type, and you can still beat the entire game.
I think the only reason why a lot of people don't really pay much attention to Yellow is because when you name your Butterfree Kitty, you kind of lose interest.
I kind of like the first Butterfree because there's so much crap about it being the complete douche Pokemon that just leaves with the first female it finds. Yeah. There's so much crap about it.
You mean the unrecorded shiny?
Yeah, the one shiny beyond the red Gyarados, which isn't a shiny kind of. But yeah, it was the mutation. But I was laughing because like all of these other ones, one pink, bam, got it.
No, Butterfree really is a complete troll because
I was happy when they found the Pikachu forest and Pikachu was leaving. I was like, thank God. He can finally get that 6th Pokemon that's going to be better. And then they had this big emotional song, and Ash cried again. And then he came back, and I
Who here actually cried at that moment? Don't feel bad. You can admit it. You know, we all accept you crying at this moment, except this guy.
Only time I cried was the end of season 1 when Misty left. Because I mean, come on. Because the one thing is both of them trolled him because he was like, and they're still standing there. What was that, Ash?
You know, I cried too, but that was when Tracy came.
That was such a bad set. And then, who remembers the GS ball? Yeah, no you don't, because the anime wants you to forget about that ever happening.
Believe it or not, there was a guy who actually talked to some guy who like ran the storyline himself. He said that originally the GS ball was supposed to contain Celebi. And that was a storyline that was going to lead up to pretty much Johto. But then once the Pokemon Forever came out, you know, that pretty much introduced Celebi and all of its powers. They're like, oh, let's just forget about it. So everyone who actually asked about the GS ball say it don't exist. It's still back being burned in Kurt's Apricorn place. He's probably charcoal.
Yes.
I'm curious if y'all have seen the Beachy Cats Super Effective.
I think I've seen several ones that VG Cats has done. I've seen so many of those things, I can't remember which ones they are. Only one of the few ones I remember is the one they're making fun of Bleach, and he has like a rat flail, and he goes Barnkai and it becomes this giant mace rat thing. That's all I remember from lots of the VG Cats.
Super Effective is the Pokemon version of, it's pretty much a redo of the Pokemon game.
Oh.
It's all black and white.
Once
again, I don't care. Just to point out.
You know what I do wish in the Pokemon anime? I wish almost every gym leader was like Sabrina. I mean, freaking shows up, she has no personality, she just wants to kill people, turn them into dolls, and use them as bowling pins.
And then you find out the little girl's all fake.
Yeah, and you found out it's a doll, and then Haunter comes by, blows a bomb.
I hated that, the whole Haunter thing, and that was completely ignored until like the 4th season, and then they finally bring another ghost Pokemon back and start using that ability again. Yeah, I didn't like that one.
How many of Ash's badges in the first season did he actually get by winning a gym badge?
Like
not
maybe
10.
4.
Gary did. Gary got 10.
1, 2, and 8 didn't happen because he won against them. No offense, but I mean you guys suck already and can't remember. The one time you guys were beating the crap out of them was, I remember this episode because I laughed so hard. They were in the the Pokemon training area to get the cheap pass to the league or whatever. And they were going through using all of the league Pokemon, and they all obeyed every order they were told. These guys get Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur and start kicking the crap out of everyone. Run away with the Pokemon balls, get outside of the stadium, they turn on them and kill them, and pretty much blow them up into the sun. Because they only obey orders inside of the area. I'm like, they should have stayed in there.
Which reminds me, James, exactly how much have you actually seen the inside of Victory Bell's mouth?
Do you really want to know? 53. No, I don't know.
I don't know, dude. Do you have any kind of Pokemon that actually does not shower you with affection, may it be positive or negative?
Mine Junior wasn't as offered about it.
But I will give James credit because without regarding Weezing and Victory Bell, James has actually befriended all of the Pokemon he has actually captured. Because all of them besides Weezing and
Jesse hasn't. Jesse scares them into submission.
Jesse beat the crap out of Seviper for eating her hair. I don't think that's...
I still remember the Lickitung awkward moments. There's a really awkward picture of Lickitung and Jesse. I'm not going to explain it. You already know where this is going. So next subject. So I like the minute we start talking about Pokemon, every ounce is the Digimon conversation. No more questions. We already know where this conversation is leading. Yes.
Like, do you know the explanation? I remember they're talking about how the ghost Pokemon came from like other Pokemon, like.
Yes, I will go about that. That was the one cool thing that lots of people didn't realize, and maybe some of you don't, is that there was one death in the original Pokemon game. If you go to the Ghost Tower, it takes a lot to really understand what's going on, because it really doesn't really go into detail until you kind of listen to the dialogue. Is you see Gary in the Ghost Tower, and he's like, you'll never understand loss, blah, 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 blah. And up till that point, he had a Rattata that became Eradicate, After that scene, you've never seen the Raticate again. So at some point, his Raticate died on him. So I don't know what the crap happened because you can't kill anyone in the Pokemon game. But he apparently sucked so bad in that this one instant it died.
I'm sure we've all seen I'm sure we all know about going through through Lavender Town and going to that tower, and you always run into the ghost that you can't seem to catch until you discover it was a Marowak. They actually do that in the Pokemon manga, but instead of like a random ghost, you actually see like a ghost of a Psyduck walking by. Problem is this Psyduck is actually just falls apart. Like its bill falls off, its arm falls off. You actually see its skin.
Hey Gary, beaten up on all the ghost Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
Blue. Sorry.
Possessed by Koga's Ghastly.
Yeah, which is really funny because he runs in and he gets possessed like right away. Red comes in to save the day.
And then
Blue gets ticked off.
Question.
You'll be next.
Is it a place like an easy place for to get an EV on any game?
Do what?
Get an EV.
Is there a decent place?
Yes.
I mean, you can get an Eevee, but I mean, I kind of thought Eevee was kind of overused sometimes, especially after it got like 12.
You got an answer over here?
Yeah, normally Eevee can't actually be caught in the wild. It can only be traded or raised from an egg, which is still through trading.
Oh, that's the first game. First game.
Well,
Actually,
it can't be caught, period.
not in the wild, you can't catch
It has to
Eevee.
be given to you inside the game as well.
Yeah, you had to go through something to get it.
They go somewhere and sell it on City.
Actually, exactly. Yeah. But you can't catch the thing.
Yeah.
Because then that would make trading it completely pointless. Because then you just catch 15 of them. What?
You can actually now in Black 2 and White 2 in
I don't care.
Castelia City. No, Castelia City, they'll allow you to catch Eevee, but it's only coming up 1% chance.
I don't care. You got a question?
I was trying to say
the Team Rocket
when his
Zone,
Raticate
single
died,
place.
when his Raticate died, was supposedly you fought Gary in the SSN, and while the SSN was crashing,
They killed the Raticate?
yeah, Gary could not get to the Pokemon Center fast enough to save his Raticate after you hurt it.
Yeah!
So you killed
Yeah, all the others survived.
his Raticate. Yeah, all the others.
Yeah, everything else survived like it was nothing. But the one thing that, it's okay, it's the one Pokemon that we didn't care if he died. Because heaven forbid, the one Pokemon he gets to be the troll for you, the starter Pokemon, which is another picture that's really funny. Because it has a picture of you choosing your Pokemon, then it has a troll face put on Blue going, oh, well, you're going to choose the fire Pokemon? Here's water. You're going to choose the grass Pokemon, here's fire.
You know, at the very beginning of the game, you know, there is one important question that you must answer. Are you a boy or are you a girl?
And what is the name of my grandson? They made fun of that and they called him Douche. In one of these, it's like 7 or 8 comic strips. They're like, oh, the pizza cat. Okay, then yes, okay. Yeah, it makes fun of it because like every couple months they made a picture of it. And the first one is they're making fun of, are you a boy or a girl? And it's like this guy just staring at him.
I'm your grandson.
I'm your grandson. What's your name? And it has a picture, because this is already red is ticked off at blue already. So he's got this like, look at it, and he backs out of the thing and types in douche. Oh yeah, that's right, your name's Douche. And it has this crazy face of Professor Oak. He's completely insane.
Go ahead, choose whatever.
That's right. And then Blue has this face of complete disdain and hate. It goes,
Go ahead, choose whatever starter Pokemon you want. I'll only give my grandson the one that beats yours.
Speaking of Professor Oak, were you surprised when they fired the voice actor?
I didn't care because James got like 4 and then Ash got like 7. Like every 5 or 6 episodes in the first series, they're like, yeah, this guy's not good enough.
But we do know
This
that
guy's still not good
the
enough.
original voice
He's not
actor
young
for
enough
Ash
yet.
Ketchum actually passed away not too long ago.
Oh, really?
Wait, Veronica Taylor's dead?
Yes. She actually passed away not too long ago. She has had some kind of illness, but she was the original voice actor for Ash, and she will be missed. Chris.
Okay, Ash person. Someone who, okay, there's too many people with Ash hats on here.
I'm first Hobo Ash because they don't pay. Now, has Professor Oak ever been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease? Because, I mean, come on, dude.
I don't know, but there's a long time he's only with Ash's mother, by the way.
Yeah.
He's with her a lot in those movies.
Until Mr. Mime gets there.
Yeah, until Mr. Mime comes along.
Yeah.
He's pretty good with that Bruce.
she says to him, she says, how are you today, honey? And then the answer is just yes and no. It's like decisions.
Yeah, there's some awkward ones with that. 1 second, I'll go this way through. Far corner. That's you. Yeah.
So, I just wanted to know, did anyone else notice that, I don't know about Diamond and Pearl or Black and White, but how each game, your parent started to give a fuck a little bit more before you leave the house? Like in the first generation,
Do I really want to deal with this game?
like in the first generation, they treat you like you're a Spartan child. They're like, oh, at 12 or 13, everyone leaves, so get the fuck out.
Pretty much. Okay, I'll get to you next, Bart.
There's one episode I've always wanted to know. It's the beauty contest. What exactly did you do to get those realistic looking breasts?
Here, I'll show you. Hold on, let me unzip the shirt. Dude, those are all real. Dude, he binds amazingly.
I have the answer to that. In the Japanese version, he had inflatable boobs inside his bikini. They didn't show that in the American version, though.
No, that episode banned. They didn't let that episode go.
Yeah, it didn't even go to America.
Right. Okay, hold on a second, guys.
I was watching a YouTube video, and it was about the Pokemon trainer and Sonic the Hedgehog. He mistaken the...
Oh, and he threw the Pokeball at Sonic?
Yes.
Yeah, they do a lot of that where they make fun of, I mean, even if you watch any of the Bridge series, Nappa throws a Pokeball at Shoutsu. Yes! And the best part of the entire scene is the fact that Vegeta's like, yeah, the devil is first Nappa. And apparently he's a Pokemon trainer.
He's like, oh my god.
Hold on, guys, hold on. I hope I ran a grandma.
I wanted to wait until you went back to Digimon. There was something I wanted to point out involving that.
Sure, we can go back and forth. It's Pokemon versus Digimon, so it can be both questions. We just had a lot of people doing Pokemon questions, so yes, Digimon.
Well, I was back in Germany when I was watching Digimon. Apparently,
Which season?
Pretty much all of them, but no, mainly focus on Tamers.
Okay.
Well, in the English one, Renamon pointed out that Digimon don't really have gender.
That's a lie.
Basically, in the Japanese English version, as far as I know, the Renamon's voice is female, but in the German one, Renamon's voice is male.
Was Mel? Well, they do make comment. Well, hey, what was it? Gardevoir? Well, if Gardevoir can be a dude, Digimon can have no gender. Because when something with these big old things like that can be a dude, yeah, I can call a Digimon whatever gender they want to imagine themselves. Because they go into that more than just what Renamon mentions. Because, yeah, Rika goes, well, you've got to be Rika's mom goes, well, you've got to be a girl with all the feminine looks, blah, 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 blah. Well, you've got to think about it. They're digital code. They're created in a certain form or fashion. They make mention no parents, nothing like that. The only thing they got closest to was season 1 had the Digi eggs with Electromon or whatever, and then Elecmon, yeah. God, what? Shoot. Then season 6 with you had Nervamon and the Black Star Digimon. Both of them are brothers and sisters supposedly, but yeah, they really don't hit on family because of course they're not real. They're all digital creatures created and then like mutated to some horrible nth degree.
Well, you see, Digimon all start as Digi-eggs, and then they hatch and then they go up. But when they die, they pretty much become a Digi-egg and go right back to where they started. There have been.
Sorry. I saw his hand up and his hand. So.
Okay, I want to make a point about Renamon saying they didn't have genders. Earlier in the same season, you have Digimon and Babamon are married. And they live together. And then in season 4, you have a whole family of...
Well, see, that's the same thing like I was saying with Nervamon and
Remember, this is an anime. Not a lot of them really keep track of.
Sorry.
Not a lot of them keep track of this kind of stuff. It's sort of like, do you really think all the writers have the time to remember everything they said in like
Naruto with the casket, and you can't reanimate anyone with their soul gone, and they were trying to reanimate the 4th Hokage?
Yeah.
Can't happen. Okay, you, yes sir.
Still about the genders. What about season 4?
Yeah.
Season 4, they're this. Oh, I mean, hey, I will completely go into season 4, and Fairymon was hot. I don't care if that's the man. That looks a lot like a woman in a lot of lingerie, and yeah, and Zephyrmon has even less lingerie.
They might have genders, but those
So, well, see, season 4, you also have to think that they're not the actual Digimon, the Digimon spirits, and it goes this whole weird way.
I will say this. One of the episodes.
Season 4 is the GX of the Digimon.
I'm pretty sure that'd be a bad thing for me to say. I went over this when we started. Season 5 is everything bad about Digimon in 1. Yeah. Every ounce of season 5 was awful. Yes. Every ounce of it. The only thing I gave it credit to was the fact that you actually had Nagamon. Just his evolution tree sucks.
Also, he sucks.
I didn't care about any of the other ones. I thought I would almost have a kind of Garurumon thing, and then it sucked. Once it got to its final evolutions and all this, I'm like, lame.
I got a question for James.
Sure.
Anime or manga, does James and Jesse ever hook up? Like ever?
Pretty much on manga the last time I checked. Anime, that's going to be a very long way to go.
Anime, I mean, they hint at it a lot, especially some of it they have like the really close thing, and then usually one of their Pokemon ends up screwing over the moment, and then they go, shiny object, and then forget about it for the next 3 seasons.
I don't know. James pretty much is a guy.
I know, he's already got a Beyonce Jezebel. Damn, I remember that. Yeah, dude, he's also loaded with a Volocap collection of gold or something.
You over there?
No, they sold those.
How do y'all feel about the Digimon?
And use them for me also.
1 second, guys.
The Digimon Cross season that's like been airing.
We were talking about that in the beginning of this, and it was amazing. I love Cross Wars because it brought me back into liking Digimon again.
I do have some news. What was it? It wasn't 4Kids, but it was. I think it was Saban. Saban just got the license for Digimon X Cross and is now and it will be shown, and it is now called Digimon Fusion.
I don't really mind that, but I just got to see what their voice actor rates are before I'm saying it. Because I want them to keep Shoutmon the kind of weird voice that he has, because it's kind of the thing that goes with the smaller Digimon. It's kind of a cool voice.
Ty retired years ago.
Well, I mean, they got a long time if they're going to go through. That was like 76, 77 when, well, no, he got a sneak preview at like 70, and it shows him with the other guys on the boat. Then he comes back in and actually has more than one, my goggles, on a boat. Then he comes back in, sees like episode 75 has a few lines, 77 or 78, you see that scene, and then 79 he pops in again. But I mean, it's not like any other one. They bring back old guys. I mean,
They have every goggle head leader fight. That is awesome.
it is, and that's what I really liked about it with the nuke. But
It's the Forever Red episode.
it's the Forever Red Power Ranger episode for Digimon. It is.
Ironically, they all have red on them in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, but we still don't count season 5.
I got 2 things. One, the only thing season 5 had going for it was it had the villain Karada, he was a human, is the biggest douchebag I've ever seen in any anime because he creates something that completely destroys Digimon. They don't get reborn after that.
Okay, so it's Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Check.
Yeah.
And the second thing, I want some speculation from you since you're a Digimon expert here. Since Cross Wars is getting dubbed, what do you think they're going to do about Lilithmon and her Triple Valmon Digicross in the dub version?
I do know they're going to kill the
Lilithmon, for people that don't know, she's basically a succubus type. So she's very well, she's a giant tracts of land. Okay, come on, someone Monty Python.
Yes.
Okay, she has huge tracts of land. And she's also not the only one. Mervamon has quite a nice pair. She has a really awkward hand issue. But yeah, so one of her crosses is a little more risque and awkward and interesting.
Well, I don't know, look at season 5, Rosemon, Forbidden Temptation.
It's interesting. I mean, I don't know. I mean, with the way most animes are now in America, I mean, I do feel bad for lots of people that are just now getting animes and don't watch the Japanese to at least get hints of it. Because they edit so much stuff out. They add in extra stuff. The only thing I still laugh at is the fact that the swastika is still on Ichigo's sword hilt. And they kept that. They removed it off of Neji's forehead. It was a swastika, turned into a cross.
Ichigo's is actually the reverse, which is the correct. Is the correct kanji symbol. The swastika is the reverse of the correct one.
Well, still, it's America. We're going to screw something up. I thought they were going to do that. But I guess they at least did the smart thing of, he's going to have that sword for a long time. editing this would suck. So, but yeah, I do feel bad for lots of the people that are watching like only the American anime for Digimon, for, I mean, Pokemon, I mean, Digimon I didn't care as much because, I mean, that was back when I was a little kid. I didn't really know the difference between cartoon anime and all that. But, I mean, watching the Japanese, they do a lot more darker things on a lot of stuff. I mean, I would even, for the GX comment, if you watch GX Japanese, he's actually not as retarded and has a few moments of shining glory. Very few, but a few. And like, season 0 was amazing because he actually kills people with scorpions and...
Season not continue on is because Konami got a hold of the card game and decided they wanted to make it only about card games.
Yeah.
The creator wanted it to be, you know, Egyptian games.
Well, the thing is, he's the wow, we're getting way off topic of this, but he's the king of games, not just card games. But then they really rolled him down. But I like that Mokubo as a capsule game guy that was gonna kill everyone, and then got almost killed by his brother. But.
Big brother, it's time for everybody to die.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill you. Let's see, bring it back to the subject. I'll get you right after him. I saw his hand up a few minutes ago. Then you.
Well, I've been listening to this, didn't come in at the beginning, but from what I understand, the debate being Digimon versus Pokemon, it seems to me that all legitimate comments made to it, that Pokemon seems to be winning just off of default for sex-related everything.
Well, the thing is, you got to give the credit that Pokemon does have the larger fan base for a lot of the stuff because it is more popular. Okay. Go ahead and see if you can pack mine as well. Because we only got a few more minutes before we got to go, but with Pokemon, it really is more popular because, of course, Digimon, it ended at season 4, and I never watched season 5, and then even in Japan, it even had like 5 or 6 years gap difference before they even brought in the next Digimon, which I would want to wait for that to give America the chance to look at Cross Wars and see what happens. But the biggest thing about Pokemon is it's kept the same character. It's like the original Power Ranger series. It was good the more they kept the same characters, which is why they brought back Tommy, which is another whole story I'll go into. But it's kept the same stuff, kept the same flow of events, and honestly, I think it's still the same set of stories, just with different Pokemon taking place of it. So that's why I don't personally care for it, and I prefer Digimon. And Ash, like I told you with the little Twilight thing, Ash is still 12 after 30. No.
He's 10 now as a black and white.
He's 10 now?
10 as a black and white.
Okay, so he was -3 when he got his first Pokemon.
He was 10 back in the original show, then he went up to 11.
But, I mean, I'll leave it up to, I mean, you can't really say which one wins just because it's a fan favorite thing, and I could say Digimon hands down, but I mean, I'm biased on Digimon. I enjoy some of Pokemon. I enjoy season 1, 2. Well, I will give you my premise of why I enjoy Digimon better. I enjoy a plot line that actually can be met. Pokemon, I made a joke about this in the beginning, the closest person, even anyone, to catching them all are the evil guys. Your main characters can't do it.
Digimon Emperor? He's trying to catch them all.
Yep. He also made a creepy little thing, like Chimeramon, that blew the crap out of everyone. Except yeah. But, is he still not? Okay. But I mean, it's really up to everyone else. I mean, I'd be happy to keep on going, but I mean, I only got an hour and a half for this, and I even got an extra couple minutes for that. And I mean, there's a lot more we can discuss and go into the exact details, because I mean, there are pictures that go out about Pokemon with the logistics of the video games, with the capture rate and all that. But I mean, that's every game. So I keep on having people come up to me trying to one-up Pokemon with the mathematics behind Pokemon catching and all that. And I'm like, I'm a computer programmer, sir. That is every video game with any kind of physicality. It's going to have a stupidly ridiculous mathematic equation to it. So using that to try to one-up Digimon doesn't work for me. I would be happy to, after this, you can come and talk to me. I will be this for a little while. I'll probably switch over. I might switch back into Zelda or Broly tonight. I'll be Broly, Jiraiya, and Power Ranger probably tomorrow. You're welcome to come find me, and I will be happy to discuss more Pokemon or Digimon with you. I always enjoy having intelligent conversations. I have met a lot of stupid Pokemon people that I am a Naruto cosplayer, so I know Naruto. There are also Poketards that try to one-up me with stupid comments about if they try to one-up me with anything involving Ash, I laugh at them and turn around. Bring it on. I mean, even season 5 was better than anything Ash has done.
Thank you.
No offense, but I mean, I'm down to, whoever the next person is supposed to come up, I'm just kind of wrapping up right now, and I'm happy to keep talking later on outside.